Hello everyone, this is Alex from alexlancer.com, and today we're gonna build a user login system. Our project will contain a login form, a sign up form, and then we're gonna create a login session using CodeIgniter filters for protecting some areas of our site, of our project. Here you go. Then we will also have a profile page where I will show you how you can edit your information. Let's say we say user and update. So this is our project for today. Let's log out, put this aside, and let's start. As always, let's begin with the Composer installation, with the CodeIgniter installation via Composer. So I will go to my XAMPP folder. Let me bring it up. So here I go into my project folder and let's open a PowerShell. Copy this. Let's give it a name, login. Wait for a few seconds. Now it is done. No need for PowerShell anymore. And let me bring back this. So here we have our login installation. Yeah, actually we need PowerShell for one more time to open up Atom. Okay, here we go. Let's do now, I want to assign a local host as a root folder, the public folder of our login project. So I go here and I scroll, go down, down, down. I think I passed it. Yeah. So let's change this test to login. Login. Remember that document root and directory should be the exactly same path. So once you have that done, restart your Apache. And let's check our local host. Nope, up and running, perfect. Now let's enable all of the environment settings that we're gonna need. Or actually, let's create first a database. Again, we go localhost phpMyAdmin. Create new, login, and let's create a users table. Nice. So now in users table, let's create some basic fields, columns, like ID, first name, last name. Let's give few more rows. Yeah, doesn't matter. Let's give 5. I don't think we will use them all. So the next one is email, password, and let's create also a timestamp created at and updated at. I will get back to those. If you don't know for what is the purpose of these fields, I will cover it a bit later. So let's make the ID column an auto increment. First name, let's make it a varchar of 50. Last name, varchar of 50. Email also, I think 50 is enough. The password 255. So here I created at, let's make it a date time field. And let's give it a default value of current timestamp. Same for the updated at. And with this, I think we are good. So we can click save. And yes, our users table is ready. Let's go back to our project and set up the environment settings. So first of all, duplicate the env file, make it .env. Let's give our application a base URL, which is http localhost. Let's go down to the database. Let's open this and create. So our database name is login. Our username is root. We don't have password. At least I don't have. If you have, type it here. Okay. And of course, let's set the environment to development. So we can see our debug bar and any errors when they will occur. Nice. Let's go back to our local host. Let me open it in a new tab so we have access to our phpMyAdmin when needed. Okay, here we are. We see the debug bar. It is active. And it is time to start build our basic controllers. First of all, let's create a user's controller. So we go up, controllers. Let's just duplicate the home controller. So it is users. Change the class name. Let's make it echo users. And let's go to our routes and change the default controller from home to users. And same here. Localhost refresh. Okay. So our basic routing is ready. Now, we have to set up our template files. We will work with Bootstrap 4 just to keep the things simple and good looking. So we go to our views. Let's create a folder templates where we will store our header and our footer files. So we go create a folder templates, create a file footer.php and a header.php. Nice. And in header.php, let's create a basic HTML markup. Grab the last 2 lines, cut them, and bring them to the footer. Now let's go to the Bootstrap. And yeah, actually we can copy it by clicking here. And in the header, in the head section, let's paste it like that. And also I would like to have my own style sheet in order we make some changes to our design. Some basic stuff like paddings or maybe some color change. So we will put that in assets, CSS style.css, and save. Now let's go to public folder. Let's create a folder name assets. Inside of assets, create a folder name CSS. And inside the CSS folder, create style.css file. Let's start with giving to our body background color of E1, E1, E1. That's fine for now. And let's create our first view file. Actually, not the first. We already created header and footer. But let's create login.php. So this will be our first screen that user sees when he comes to our application. Sorry for that. Let's start here with a container. Let's create a row, and then inside the row, let's create call 12, call SM8, offset SM2, call MD6, offset MD3, so that our form looks centered inside the screen, but not too large. This is basic Bootstrap classes. Let's give it also a margin top 5 and padding top 3, padding bottom 3. Let's make it a white background. Yeah, a lot of classes, and let's give one custom class of our own that we will use later on to style a little bit the wrapper around the form. Now let's go inside and give one more container. This will give us some extra padding on the left and on the right. So let's name it login. Give a horizontal line. And let's create a form with action on the same page. Sorry, not class. Action. Let's give it just a slash. Method post, this is correct. And now let's give few inputs. So the first input will be our email. Let's name it email address. So here, let's type set value email. So what this does, if you're not familiar, after we submit the form, if there is any error and we will be redirected back to the form, this will keep the value that we've typed inside the email field. It will keep it inside, so we don't have to type it again. So let's continue with the password input. No, sorry. So I have this snippet that I type input, and it gives me the Bootstrap markup for the field. So password. Inside the password, we don't use the set value password because anyway you can't see what you've typed. Then let's create. So our form continues like that. Okay, let's see if we will have any errors. Or actually leave it for now, so I don't confuse you. And I just want to create one more row here. For our submit button. Button type submit. Class btn primary. Again, this is all Bootstrap. Login. And let's create one more div where we will place our link to the registration page. So call 12, call SM8. Let's make it text right. Let's create a link to the register, and let's give it a text of don't have an account yet, a question. Let's make it like that. Let's check what we have so far. Where we go to our local host. Nice. We don't have nothing because we didn't load the views yet. So let's go back to our user controller. Let's initialize the data here just to have it in case we will use it later. But for now, what I want to do is I want to echo view templates header. Let's pass the data here so we don't forget it later. Let's copy paste. This will be our footer, and this here will be our login page, login view. So I guess now it should, okay. Call to undefined function set value. Yeah, the reason this function is undefined is because we have to load the helper first. Helper form. It is a CodeIgniter helper that will help us validate the fields later on. Therefore, we go to helper. It's really simple. And just inside the helper function, you pass all the helpers you want to load. In our case, it's just form. Okay, let's check now. Okay, perfect. So what else we need to do here, I think, is let's just create a navigation bar really quickly. So we go to let me just remove this, no need to repeat it. And let's go back to our header. Let me find a navbars snippet so that you don't type it all from the beginning. Yeah, let's take this one. Let's go body. Let's change this light to dark. Right away change the link of the logo. Let's say CI4 login. No need for this. And no need for this. We will make the active class will be dynamic depending on which link is, which page we are visiting at the moment. We will do it in a bit. So let's make home. Let's say login instead of home. Register. So for now, this will be our login, our navigation bar. Also, we don't need this form here. Let's see. Okay, let's wrap it inside the container so it will be centered. And we take this div class container. And let's go back to, yeah, let's paste it here. Okay, perfect. So let's create also the registration page now. And for that we go to our user controller and we say public function register. And let's copy this because this is everywhere the same. And just let's change this to register. Let's go back to our views. So we have a login here. I think we can just duplicate this and make it register. Let's change the title. Register. And now let's make some HTML changes also. So we have the register form. Let's make our action here register. Nice. So we will change a little bit the markup here. So we'll create a div row from the beginning. Yeah, let's wrap all of our form groups inside of it. Where do we have it? Account yet. Let me check this. Yeah, actually, we just need to remove this here. Or no, let's close it above. Yeah, let's close it above so we can separate it if we need something else here, like to display our errors. So we have a mail address. let's create two new fields. Call 12, call SM6. Let's create our first name input. First name, let's give it a set value right from the start, also first name. And now let's copy this and make it last name. So our email function, email input, sorry, let's wrap it inside the call 12. It will be a full width. And our passwords again. Now we need two passwords. We need the password that we have now and one extra field to confirm the password. So let's make it call 12, call SM6. Let's bring it here and copy paste this. Let's say confirm. And let's make it confirm. Okay, one thing I see here is this type, and this type we have to change it, and I think in our login form, same. So now, having done that, let's change the button name to register. And let's say already have an account. And navigate back to our home page. So let's refresh. Okay, register still doesn't work. Very nice. And it doesn't work because we have to go to our routes and create. Actually, it would work if we would go to user, register. User, register. Or is it users? Yeah. And now we have, I think we mistyped the view name, the view file name. So let's go to users. Yeah. So it is register. Try again. Okay, and here we go. Looks nice. So we go back to login, don't have an account yet. So if we want to utilize this path, we have to create it in our routes file. Then let's go here and let's say, if we do it just like get register and we say users register, it will work fine. But if I'm gonna submit this form now, it will give me again a 404 error. Why is that? Because in the routes we specified only the get method to use this rule. So what we can do to monitor also our post requests is type match, and inside here go get and post. So I think if we refresh now, yeah, we are good to go. And let's continue with our registration form in the next part.